Marketing Jang to please come on stage and share his thoughts on prospects of media relationship between Pakistan and China.
Ladies and gentlemen, very warm afternoon, very good afternoon. I'm thankful to Khalid Sahab for inviting me, and I appreciate the efforts of Regional Integration Center of the University of the Punjab for holding such seminar and workshops. Media has a very important role in making opinion, and I can give you one example, starting with one example. A few years back, there was shortage of petrol in Pakistan. It's very common sometimes. There was long queues on petrol pumps, and then there was an announcement of 25 rupees per litre hike in the price. And then there came media. Then there were two sides. One side was saying, oh, it's so cruel of the government, increasing 25 rupees per litre, it's not good. And the other side was saying, wow, wonderful strategy of the government. They overcome this shortage of petrol, and now people are living happy life. So this is how media plays. So when we say there are fake news, it's never absolute, nothing is absolute fake and nothing is absolute true. In international relations, we have to watch our own interest of Pakistan. There are doubts about, there are doubts being created about all these projects by CPAC, and at the same time, we have to make clarifications. As was discussed earlier, there should be dialogue, there should be debate. There can be some issues, there can be some problems that we need to solve at certain platforms. But one thing is true, that China has done tremendous work for their people, bringing, taking out of poverty 1.5 billion population. We always have the issue, and we discuss that our population is a problem. We have 230 million people population, and China has 1.5 billion population. So with that population, they made that as their resource, not as their trouble, not as their problem. So we have to learn from China. The excellent approach, that community with shared future. I think that's wonderful. That is what people need. What we need, most of the time we want to go to the countries where we call them the welfare states. People need to get their problems solved by the government. So China has given that model, and we can learn from that. We can replicate that. Before some time, America was the only superpower, and it was said that America is neighbor of every country. But they were with their military presence. Now there is China, they have their economic presence, which is for the well-being of people of all the countries. They have huge investments in Pakistan, they have their own interest also, but we have to watch our interest. So our media can play a very important role. One, to highlight the issues or the problems that are there, so we can resolve those problems. And two, we have to make opinion. We have to communicate to the people what is going on and what is right of the people. It's very easy to make protest, to go on the roads. We talk about freedom of speech, but we can see that in the past few years, it has created polarization. Not just in Pakistan, in India, even in America, we can see that. So we have a model of China. Not necessarily that is 100% fair or all without any issues, but we can adopt better things. And media can play an important role. Large media houses like Jang Group is already doing work on that. We are publishing Chinese news, we are publishing a special page of Chinese news, even in Chinese language also. But there is still space for contribution, for collaborations. Chinese media may come forward and have association or collaborations with Pakistani media, and they can communicate their model, how they have done all that in that. That's not a one-day story. That's 100 years work they have done, and they have reached that stage. So at the same time, the young students have opportunity. It's not just now Jang Group or Dawn or ARY with the spread of the social media, digital media. Now every one of you can have their own media house. Every one of you can have your own Geo or ARY or whatever the channel or newspapers. If you can do something, if you can write something, if you can communicate your message, if you can speak well, if you can sing well, if you can act well, so media is open. So with the organizations or the institutes like Punjab University, we can work on this issue. And obviously we can collaborate with large media houses also. As I said, Jang and Geo Group is already working on that. So I think there is a lot of space, there is a lot of room to work together with China and Pakistan. And doubts will always remain there. We cannot convince or we cannot create consensus on even making a dam in Pakistan, which can help us solve our energy problem and water storage also. So how can we have consensus on such large projects like CPAC, and where there is interest of other countries also. Conflict of interest is also there, and some other countries also working there. So we have to be very conscious. This fake news, all that is there. So instead of just communicating that forward, we can work consciously, we can work wisely, and we can work together with Chinese media and with the departments like Punjab University, so we can have a better future and a community with shared future. Thank you.